Wooden coasters are awesome. Whether it's ancient classics like Leap the Dips and the Roosh Barn, or modern day marvels like Twisted Colossus or Wildcat's Revenge, wooden coasters are guaranteed to put a smile on your face every time you ride one. Sadly though, here in the UK, time has not been kind to our wooden rides, as over the years, classic after classic has been removed from our many amazing theme parks. However, what little that does remain is still amazing, so today, your friend Royler Coaster is going to rank all 10 of the UK's remaining wooden coasters. At number 10 we have Tyrolean Tub Twist at Joyland in Great Yarmouth. Opening in 1950, this coaster is the last of its kind, being the only Virginia reeler in the entire world that's still in operation. Whilst this ride may be rather short, lack any proper drops and isn't really very thrilling, it makes up for it with such an intense spinning that it can even give Dragon's Fury and Spinball Whizzer a run for their money. And when you add the fact that this ride is a unique cred, I think it easily makes it onto the list. At number 9 we have the Antelope at Gulliver's World in Warrington. Opening in 1995, this wooden family coaster is the third most recent wooden coaster to be built in the UK and offers some fantastic drops and turns, making it an amazing first-time coaster for new thrill seekers. However, its harsh and rickety roughness, combined with its long, slow turning segments, pushes this coaster almost to the bottom of this list, as it can be a rather painful ride. That said, I believe it's still a solidly fun and thrilling coaster, though I wouldn't complain if this ride got an RMC makeover. At number 8 we have the Scenic Railway at Dreamland in Margate. This ride is an absolute icon for UK coaster fans. Being the oldest one we have, as it opened all the way back in 1920 and is generally just a really fun attraction to ride, it being nice and long as well as having lots of drops. However, these drops aren't very thrilling, and the views you get from the top of the Scenic Railway aren't that great, though I imagine back in the park's prime that wasn't the case. Be that as it may though, it's still a great laugh to ride and is an absolute bucket lister for any UK coaster fans. Also, fun fact, it's the only wooden coaster in the south of the UK. At number 7 we have the Blue Flyer at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's still Blackpool Pleasure Beach, guys, I'm sticking to it, we can change the name back. Opening all the way back in 1934, this 90-year-old classic is a brilliant family coaster and offers some great first-time thrills, taking riders to a height of 15 feet and to speeds of up to 20 miles per hour. However, as it's a family coaster, it's not the most exciting ride in the world and is easily the weakest wooden coaster there is at Pleasure Beach. Nonetheless, I still love this old-timey classic and I hope it's here for 90 more years at least. At number 6 we have the Nickelodeon Streak at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Opening in 1933, under the simple name of roller coaster, this out and back style wooden coaster takes riders to a grand height of 61 feet and then shoots them down huge drops at 35 miles per hour. It's a superb coaster. Having said that, its simple design makes it so it just can't compete with the rest of the rides on this list. But at 91, you gotta cut it some slack. Also, parts of this ride are actually older than 91, as the Nickelodeon Streak uses the lift hill and other parts from the layout from its predecessor, the Velvet Coaster, which opened in 1909, making some of it the second oldest coaster in the world, only beaten out by Leap the Dips, which opened in 1902. At number 5 we have Roller Coaster at Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. Opening at the park in 1932, this scenic railway-style coaster originally opened a year earlier in Paris, before it was bought by the iconic Pat Collins and moved to the Pleasure Beach, where it has ran continuously ever since. This amazing coaster takes riders to a trembling height of 70 feet, rushes them to a speed of 45 miles per hour, and has plenty of twists and turns to keep even the pickiest of thrill seekers satisfied. That being said, it does take a little too long for the ride to get going, and whilst the views of the beach are stunning, you only get these for half the ride, as for the rest of the time you have to look at the town instead. At number 4 we have the Grand National at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Opening in 1935, this extraordinary ride is one of 2 surviving wooden Mobius loop roller coasters left in the world, and who doesn't love a dueling coaster that's fast, sharp, and leaves you wanting more? There's really never a dull moment on this ride, and it's really hard to find any faults with it. But as I feel the other rides on this list are just a little more thrilling, Grand National misses out on this bronze by a nose. Get it? By a nose? Because it's named after a horse race? No? I'll see myself out. At number 3 we have the Big Dipper at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Opening all the way back in 1923 and extended in 1936, this brilliant and bumpy coaster offers a ride like no other, as it throws you back and forth as you swoop down drops, dips and turns, allowing you to really feel the age of this Goliath of a UK coaster. For something built so long ago, it's amazing how it has managed to stay, at least in my opinion, as one of the greatest roller coasters the UK has ever built. And the only reason it's not my number one is because modern technology has allowed us to build two wooden coasters that somehow managed to be even better than this theme park legend. At number 2, we have Megaphobia at Oakwood Theme Park in Wales. Opening in 1996, this is the tallest wooden coaster in Britain, standing at a whopping 85 feet tall, and it's also the fastest wooden coaster the UK has, reaching a top speed of 48 miles per hour. A wild and bumpy ride, this attraction is a winner from the moment it sends you down the first drop, having some of the best turns and banks that any classic style wooden coaster has to offer, and it's a nice long ride too. It was a close call deciding whether this coaster would be my number one or not, because this ride is just simply incredible. However, its lack of theming, combined with my own personal love of my number one, sadly means that Megaphobia goes home with the silver. Finally, at number 1, the ride I'm sure most of you knew I was gonna pick, it's the Wicker Man at Alton Towers in Staffordshire. This coaster is just the best, for not only does it have the perfect ratio of drops, tight turns, bounces and bumps, but the theming of a giant wicker man covered in fire at its centre really turns this coaster from an amazing ride into an incredible experience. A lot of the rides on this list are really old, as wooden coasters have quite the knack of sticking around, and when I look at the Wicker Man, I really see a coaster that with a bit of luck will be here for many more years, and hopefully will become just as historic an icon as the Big Dipper and the Scenic Railway. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Did I get it right? Let me know in the comments and tell me how you'd rank these coasters. Or better yet, let me know what type of wooden coaster the UK should get next and where it should go. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We've recently got so much activity on the channel with new viewers and subs, and it's really making me so happy to see that there's so many of you enjoying my content. And honestly, guys, you're making my dreams come true, and I can't thank you enough. So until next time, have a good one.